the
Sorry
recording will
about that. I'm
pause.
just wanting to make sure I'm
No
getting it
worries.
up there.
You're playing basically Sunshine, and
Okay.
Sunshine wants to get revenge, and he meets his mentor, Uncle Toby, that will tell him, okay, you need to find friends and you need to get training. You can get training in three specific powers, which is the saber, like the lightsaber if you want,
Hmm.
shooting, and
Yeah.
then you have the boosts,
Yeah.
and you need to find different trainers. Now, in order to get the skill, you need to play a mini game. For example, the spaceship behind me is to
Hmm.
get the boost. If you succeed in the mini game, you have the boost power. If you fail, you have to continue the game knowing that you don't have access to that specific skill. And
That's real tough, but I get what you
voilà.
mean. Like, I wanted to keep
and
working towards it.
and later on you get the opportunity, for example, to fight a boss in the middle of the game. You can fight him or negotiate with him. There are, of course,
Okay, that's
based on
pretty
your
cool.
decisions, you have different opportunities. But
Yeah.
if you fight him, you will only be able to fight him with the skills that you got. So
Yeah.
of course it's much easier to fight if you have the three powers rather than only having one of them.
Exactly.
Okay, voila. So, and again, based on the decisions that you took in order to well, negotiate or fight that specific character, the game goes on. Now, of course, you can also die, because if you fight a character, then you die and you restart the game. The game is made like a movie game in the sense that it will be played in 1 hour and a half, 2 hour maximum, like a real movie, with different cutscenes. And when you meet the characters, you will be able to talk with them. You don't have a real interaction. That would be for future versions, but the idea is really to have, it's like in French, it's like a role playing game, or like the book where you're the hero, except that
Yeah.
it's all done with AI.
Yeah.
So voilà. In order to create the game, we used plenty of AI tools. I mean, there's a new AI tool that comes out. We test it and see what is the added value. Is it worth
Hmm.
using it? Is it worth changing content with it? And things like that. In addition, while it is a game, we want to use it actually to create an AI community for gaming, and AI community for filmmaking. I think that a lot of people are afraid today of what AI is and can become,
Hmm.
losing jobs and things like that. I tend to see that it will more create new opportunities, subcultures, and give access to people that don't necessarily have the skills or the financial capabilities. So it will give them another skill set, different tools that they can use to create, to be creative.
Yeah, and as a new opportunity, like you said, and it seems like what you're looking to do is kind of be like a shining light, and as I would say, is like something that looks at as AI as like a hopeful thing, where I'm trying to build a community. And I've said this. This was actually one of when I started with AI. I was trying to shine a brighter light on AI. It seems like you're trying to do the same thing, and in a fun way. You're like, look, we can have fun with
Yeah.
AI, and it can be beneficial to us. There are these things that, yes, that has these scary things, but there's so many hopeful things that we can look towards and be excited about.
Yeah. It is, at the end of the day, it is a tool like any other. It all depends
Yes.
what you do with it. I saw,
Hmm.
for example, you had on LinkedIn, there was a conversation about people using AI to write comments. So you
Hmm.
can have automated comments, or you have
Yeah.
comments that are just improved using AI. Well,
Mm.
I think that today a lot of people are looking for ways to use AI. They don't necessarily, know what is good, what is wrong, and there will be a lot of changes. Like when the internet arrived, a lot of people said, "Oh, the internet will
Hmm.
be the end of the world." Today, without internet,
Yeah.
you don't have your mobile phone working, you get crazy. So society changes, it evolves, and I think that AI will become, one a tool or many tools in your arsenal, and that you will be using depending on when needed and what's needed.
Yeah. I completely agree with you there. I think AI, the course it's taking right now, I know we're still in the early adoption phases. I look at, we look at ourselves like, okay, we're deeply ingrained in AI, so we think everybody's into AI. It's like, no, you go talk to most people, they've either maybe heard of ChatGPT or they really have no clue about AI in general. So we're still in those early adoption stages, and I see it, like you said, continuing to grow and be a tool that's going to benefit us. It's going to make our lives so much easier, and just make things that might have been grueling, like in your day-to-day tasks, for example, so much easier to handle, and just taking that stress off of us. And then, like, then when I take that stress off, I can go play one of your games, and then I take even more stress off, and I'm just having a good time.
Sounds good. I'm a lot in. I'm also in touch with people that are instructional designers. So they
Okay,
create
nice.
trainings online and things like that. And one of the things I noticed is that actually very few use AI. They tend to
Really?
remain more in what they used to do. So working with the traditional storyline and other technologies, which are great. Huh? I mean, they
Hmm.
don't have to be replaced by AI. But
No.
at the same time, I have the impression that they feel a bit reluctant of trying out and see
Yeah.
that, hey, it can help in a certain way. Doesn't have to
Hmm.
be, but at the same time, you lose access to tools that can make a difference.
Hmm.
Especially if you are, one person managing the training in your company for smaller
Exactly.
companies that have the financial resources to recruit more or to do
Hmm.
more. So AI in that case can definitely help.
Yeah, and I think a big reason why people are so reluctant is it's new. It's something that it's not completely tested, so they're like, okay, I'm not totally sure if it's going to work for me. And a lot of people, because it's new, that's something that's getting out of their comfort zone. And for a lot of people, that's tough to do. I can say, for myself personally, I had to come at AI not from a businessy standpoint. I came at it from a side of curiosity. Okay, this is something
Yeah,
interesting. I'm gonna mess around with it, like just experience what it can actually do. And then from there, that curiosity grew into, okay, this might be, beneficial for other parts of my life, for like the work aspects of my life. Because I look at it as if you start off, I'm gonna start using AI in work. Like just right off that, and you've never touched the tools before, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be frustrating. You're not gonna really know what to do. You're gonna be like, okay, I can go look at some LinkedIn posts, but it's still not giving me what I actually need or whatever. So it's taking that for me at least. If I was like somebody starting with AI, it's like you need to get that curiosity. You need to go from a standpoint of, look, I know I'm not good at this. I know I'm going to fail a couple of times trying this, but I'm failing forward because everything I'm learning is just making me so much better at using AI basically.
definitely. I also have the feeling that it will become an expertise by AI tool or category. I mean, right now we're doing the music, we're doing the all the audio, the images, well, everything is done with AI. But as a person, you also have limited time and capacity. So
Hmm.
for if you want to have a project using AI in this game, it's 100% AI content. It's difficult to do everything yourself. So you people will start focus on a specific tool, whether it's Comfy UI or something else, or
Hmm.
visuals rather than animations, and then people will start collaborating. I think
Yeah.
even while I work with AI, I had the opportunity with this project to meet other people, AI developers or animation developers. For example, our games are created with Rife, which is also a new product, by the way,
Hmm.
amazing product. And the fun part, the most interesting part is the collaboration with those people, saying, okay, we have a new product, we have a new set of tools that we none of us really know exactly how far we can go with it. Let's try and do the best thing with that, and it's fun.
Yeah.
We hope also, of course, that the end result will be good. It's fun trying. It's a lot of people say that AI is not creative because it copies. I mean, all life is about copying. I mean,
Hmm.
try to find today one idea, one movie, one book that didn't somehow copies what was in the past.
Exactly.
You
Something
won't.
that's completely novel.
Yes, you don't. So it's but the thing is that even though you know that somehow the content used what was created by other people
Hmm.
in the past, we try to use it to come up with something new.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
how can we transform the existing into something, take it further with its limitations, of course.
Yeah, but no, like you said, I think it's really cool how you're taking, something that you said, like everyone says AI, no, AI just copies everything. You're taking it, and the cool thing about, at least when I look at it, AI, is it's taking something and it's throwing your spin of, like, let's say you were prompting to get an image, for example. You're prompting it in a way that's, maybe it's taking parts, but it's taking parts and combining them together to make something new. That's how I look at it as. And I think it's really cool, especially with the collaborations that you're doing. You're seeing what other people are doing in this space. And like you said, it might be that they're specializing in creating AI video, and then they're doing over here, they're doing AI audio, and then you can combine your efforts, and it's just you creating something super new, super cool, and you're just really you're paving the road ahead, and I think that's really cool.
Thanks. Well, at
Yeah.
least we try.
You're humble. I like that too. I mean, at the same,
Uh,
I've not heard of anybody else making AI video games yet, and I think that's something that is really going to catch on, especially in the next couple years.
I think you. I think we will have AI games that are, I wouldn't say fully because you always need people working on other
Yeah.
parts, but a lot of AI generated content. And then
Hmm.
you will have games using AI.
Yeah.
Let's not forget when you play video games and you have characters, we say that NPCs have AI. They have a
Hmm.
certain form of intelligence. It's not
Yeah.
really
Hmm.
intelligence yet, but still it is AI. AI in itself is not really new. It's just that today a lot of people have access to it.
Yeah. It's become more
Um,
accessible. You're right.
then I also consider you have two differences, two different kind of AI. You have what we the generative AI to create
Hmm.
content, and then you
Yeah.
have everything to automate and simplify
Exactly. Hmm.
workflows, processes, and things like that, which are two different things and two different ways to work with. For example, we don't use any automated workflows. Not that we're against, it's just that
Yeah.
it's an additional step to put into place in order to structure. And right now, it's a lot of brainstorming and going for it. I imagine that, for example, in the future, larger companies will be using both type of AIs to develop their games,
Oh yeah.
especially
For
if you
sure.
have a lot of content, a lot of text, speech, and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it could be that they have on their end, they have a simple interface, but on the back end they have so many different automations that take a simple idea of like, okay, we want a game about pirates, for example, and then
Yeah.
it's taken that and goes through the entire pipeline and does all the automations to get it to somewhere where you're like, this might be 5, 10 years from now, but get it to the point where boom, okay, we have a solid structure of a game that we can now take and then have our developers work on it to polish it up, and then it's good to go. And it might be that instead of taking years to come up with games, it might be okay. This game was created in months, which would be crazy to say, especially if you were like for like AAA, like the big games.
I see that, well, the perception I have is that most people will not be interested by games that are quickly made. You have,
Yeah.
for example, you have now companies that want to create movies on demand. So you
Mm.
would like to watch a movie. Okay, I would like to see a movie about a gladiator fighting zombies, whatever.
Yeah.
You prompt, and then you have a movie about gladiators fighting zombies. Could be fun,
Yeah.
but I think that it will be more something like when you're bored or you don't know really what you want to do, or you don't have any good movie to watch, you just go on that. Same thing with games. You will be able in the future, most probably, you will be able to create simple games using prompts. This will never replace games that are well thought, that people
Oh,
spend,
no, no way.
invest a lot of time in it. Even the game we create, Rogues Heist, takes months to create. It's not something that you do in a few weeks' time. Now, this game. But as I said, the idea is also to showcase what can be done for online learning, which will
Hmm.
be much simpler in the sense that for online learning, you could use real people, record people talking, or you could use avatars for those who really want to use avatars. In that case,
Hmm.
it will be more automated. But I'm more into imagine you have a famous, and in
Yeah.
addition to that, instead of having a simple quiz, you can use tools like Rive or others to create small games that will be integrated in order to test your skill
Yeah.
or test your knowledge rather than just respond ABC.
Hmm. I think
uh,
the gamification, especially, like I'm a big fan of gamification and learning, especially because it allows you to not just be in that, like you said before, like the just kind of like, oh, I don't even remember what I don't even remember what I just learned. It's taking that to a different level where you're like, okay, I'm getting to experience this hands-on. I'm getting to have a fun little interactive game, and it just gets you more engaged. It's instead of it being like a feel like I'm a third person, like somebody's viewing over me as I'm watching something. Like I have taken multiple courses, and every time I've taken a course, I rarely remember what I just learned because it was just usually a video. I'm sitting there watching a video. There's no way to interact with it. There's no way to, you know, really retain it unless I am so hyper focused and taking notes, taking notes, taking notes. Even then, I'm still only remembering some of it. So like I've said before, I really think this is just an interesting way to tackle that issue.
Definitely. And it puts you out of your comfort zone, and
Oh
you
yeah.
will be more you will be more interested in
Mm,
you will be it's more immersive, so you will be more interested in following and actually wondering what's coming next,
yeah.
instead of just going from one video to the other. It's okay, I succeeded in that, what's next in the story, how does it unfold? And by seeing that, you actually are more motivated in succeeding and failing.
Hmm.
Because once, for example, you succeed in a test and you continue and you finish the game, you say, okay, what happens if I fail that test? How it
Hmm.
evolves, and vice versa, of course.
I think that's really cool. And I think especially like you said, like there's the multiple different types of endings, similar to how you were talking about Baldur's Gate. I have beaten Baldur's Gate. I've played it a bunch. So it is crazy to see, I make this one decision. This changes the entire game. This changes how everything works. And that can even go further into a lot of, everyone was a lot of people are mad that Baldur's Gate came out. It was so good. They're like, oh my gosh, how can we compete with this? Because this is just so amazing. And I think we're gonna see a lot more of that in games with especially like NPCs taking on more than just like saying, okay, they're AI. It's going to be like, no, you can have full on conversations with them. They're going to
Yeah.
change how they talk. That might change the entire how everything works in this town, for example, what you said to this one person. I look at that as it's just exciting. It's exciting to see what is coming up in the future, and especially how this can be applied to like e-learning, for example. Having these multiple different avenues that I, for example, what if I didn't learn as well from that? It changes to fit me better so that I'm going to improve more and actually learn the stuff that I'm supposed to be learning in this course or in e-learning. I think AI is just truly going to revolutionize how all this goes down, and I'm super excited for it.
In e-learning, most probably, because in addition to what the trainer, the information that
Yeah.
the trainer convey, you will be able to communicate with, like you said, NPCs, like NPC trainer and
Hmm.
NPTs,
Yeah,
and things
exactly. There
like
you
that.
go.
And you will be able to learn much more about yourself by doing it. I think that the one of from all the different services where I see that AI can really bring an added value is online training, simply because there's so much that can be improved
Yeah.
in that field.
I think a big one, especially like this is just something that I've thought about including because I think it should be interesting, is having you have your own you have the trainer. Let's say that's the trainers of me, and I create an AI clone of myself. So it's not even if it's me talking and I'm talking to the individual, and there's times where I'm not able to help this person. I'm out
Hmm.
busy doing other things. Then having that availability of a second me able to answer their questions 24/7 and give them advice because that's what I would have advised. I think that's just another like that's just a simple opportunity that especially people in the e-learning in training they can all do something as simple as that could supremely benefit them because then it's any time that one of the people needs them for any sort of reason they have that availability right there to them. I think that's really cool.
I've heard today about a tool. I don't remember the name. I have to check it out. It's a tool where you have to train an AI coach.
Really,
So you have to train him to become an AI coach, and this same character will then give you feedback in how well you trained him or her
that
or
sounds
they.
like if you find the name of that, please send that my way. I would love that.
And this is can be extremely enriching because it's a whole exercise about how to teach, how to
Hmm.
train, and you will learn about yourself. And it's an AI that will give you feedback on how well it understood what you try to teach. And
Yeah.
actually, in our game we don't go as deep as that, because of course it's just the beginning. But
Hmm.
actually I think that in the near future all of this can be integrated, connected, and then even added to 3D worlds. With Meta, it was the big metaverse time. They came too
Hmm.
early with it. Now they know that you need actually more content and in order to create this metaverse. And
Yeah.
AI is probably the big step that will help us go there,
Oh yeah.
especially now with all the servers that are required.
Yeah. No, I've I have my own VR headset and I loved it. But like you said, there was that moment of like, okay, well, I feel like there should be more here. There should be more
Yeah,
a part of this, and especially in the e-learning space, having that availability to like, all right, we're gonna be learning something new. Bam, put them on, and
yeah,
it's everything you need, especially with the now with like the new generative AI and stuff like that. I think it's that's really interesting, especially like I said, I haven't experienced any training through the VR, but I'm the type that would have been like, if that was available to me, I'd have been jumping on it as quick as I could because it's just something new. It's interesting, and it
yeah.
keeps you curious, keeps you like, okay, I've never learned in this way. I've never had this opportunity. I think this is going to be something cool, something interesting to experience.
Definitely. Actually, one of the reasons why we also decided to go for these branching games
Hmm.
is because we noticed that not everybody is a gamer. People are not always comfortable in 3D environments. It adds a layer of complexity. In
Yeah.
addition to that, our games were mainly based for team building, or are
Hmm.
mainly based a game for
Yeah.
team building. So you need several people playing together. Whereas when you do a movie game like that, it is for a person alone in solo mode. So and it's much more accessible.
Yeah. Way more
You have a
accessible.
certain amount of time. The training is just clicking on specific buttons. You have mini games that everybody can play. Though I know that we're having people test the boss game that I told you about. Gamers have it easy, non-gamers have it a bit
Yeah.
harder. So maybe we will share the game separately so that people can train
Hmm.
with it before playing it inside the game itself. But yeah, it's it helps. How do you say it? Banalize. It helps. It's more accessible as a tool, as a learning tool, than 3D environments. And I think that
Yeah.
creating a branched game like that is a first step for people to learn about, discover what can be done beyond
Yeah.
linear training. Well, young people today, they're more accustomed to working with computers and mobile
Yeah.
phones, etc., and gaming
Hmm.
especially. So it will be easier for them afterwards to get into 3D environments
Yeah, and I
training.
think I think like this is like the perfect avenue to go down because like you said, having that extra step of okay, they've never put a headset on to any extent ever. They're already either freaked out or nervous or just not really sure what to do. That's that you making it more accessible. I know
Yeah,
that especially with like even the trainings that I've done, when I've done them even that little bit of gap of okay, they've never made a chat GPT account or something, for example. That was enough of a barrier that they weren't even gonna touch it. So keep making it as accessible as possible, especially in like a game format. So now they're interested. They're like, okay, I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna get, it makes it so much more the barrier is so much lower for entry. And it just makes
yeah,
things so much easier to get into it and get to that experience where like, okay, I understand, what AI can do. I understand all the cool things and all the opportunities there.
definitely. You learn about AI, and well, actually, the dream somewhere would be, like the dream training would be to give AI training, have
Yeah.
people learn about AI, generative AI in that case,
Hmm.
by having them create such a game where other
Ooh.
people imagine you create a game which is based on a training. You have a
Yeah.
specific topic, I don't know, cybersecurity or whatever, and then you create a game that other people will play.
Yeah. Heard of those. I've heard of those things where like, this is people that are looking to make games, make their own games, like they want to be game developers. They'll have like they call them like game offs or something similar, where it's like, all right, you have 2 weeks, you're gonna grind for 2 weeks, and you're gonna put the time in to create it. I could see something similar for this being like, all right, you got somebody that's overlooking you, and you're looking to start getting into generative AI. You have a week. They're gonna help you with any sort of
Mhm.
problems you're having, and just kind of get through it. And by the end of it, I can guarantee you're gonna know 100 times more than you would have when you started.
Definitely, you will get access to the different AI tools. You will learn
Hmm.
how they work. You will not do it by yourself, but by collaborating with others. So it's a at the same time within a company, at least it's a sort
Yeah,
of team building activity. You learn about the limitations of each tool, how you can combine them together, and then come up with a small training that you can share with other members, our colleagues that can learn about a specific topic.
yeah. I think that's really cool. And you could have it so like each You could even have it so like each person has like an individual part of like for example AI that they want that they're going to be touching on and experimenting with. So you kind of have like everybody's game. You get to try everybody's game out, and they're all teaching you something new and exciting.
Exactly. And in this specific case, AI is really interesting because not everybody knows how to draw or
Oh
program
my goodness, yeah.
or compose a song.
I can barely draw a stick
Uh,
figure, so this would be good. That's why
so
AI is so nice.
welcome to the club. So yeah, absolutely. So for in these circumstances, it's extremely interesting to learn how to use AI and have an AI lab in the company or use AI. I mean, have your employees learn how to use AI because after
Hmm.
that they can use it for other purposes. But this would be the ideal
Of course,
training
yeah.
that I would like to develop. And well, voila, the rogues heist is to showcase this and to show what is possible today, knowing that in 2025 this will be already vintage.
Yeah, I get that. No, I think I totally think you can do it. I think with the ideal right there, I think 100% sky's the limit for, what you're already looking to do and what you're going to continue to do. It's exciting stuff, really.